Sri Lanka, an island nation in the Indian Ocean, home of Ceylon tea. The tea is treasured all over the world for its unique, extraordinary quality. Sri Lanka's fertile fields and perfect climate set the stage for the finest flavors and good yields.
The high elevation tree, or high grown tea as we call it, has a cooler climate with other soil characteristics which are very favorable for growth of tea. And that gives the flavor as well as its position the Sri Lankan tea or Ceylon tea owns in the current context in the whole world.
3.5 million people in Sri Lanka, more than 15% of the population, work in the tea industry, which accounts for 60% of all export revenue. But in 2015, the government of Sri Lanka made a decision that posed a major threat to this success overnight when it banned the use of the weed killer glyphosate in agriculture throughout Sri Lanka.
There was a theory that glyphosate mixing with water was causing the CKDU issue, the kidney failure issue, which is quite a big problem in Sri Lanka. So we also bought into that, and it was a popular theme to ban the glyphosate. So that's how the ban happened.
Weeds are now taking advantage of the excellent soil and climate conditions, battling the tea plants for the valuable nutrients in Sri Lanka's soil. It is quickly becoming apparent that simply cutting back the foe is not going to be enough to defeat it.
Tea is a perennial crop, and the weeds that grow with tea are also perennial in nature, like wiregrass, torpedo grass, and so on, guinea grass and so on. And they are very difficult to control manually because they have underground vegetative organs.
But when herbicides are banned, there is no other option. Weeds must be removed manually or mechanically. The land in Sri Lanka cannot be plowed in the usual way. The damage to the valuable soil would be too great, according to plantation manager Roshan Rajadarai.
When you disturb the soil, and then with the rain, the soil is washed off, losing nutrients, soil fertility, topsoil that takes about 1,000 years to build 1 inch.
The glyphosate ban is adversely affecting agriculture as a whole.
Weeds are one of the most important biological constraints. I'm repeating this statement even in paddy cultivation. All scientific evidences say 20 to 40% of the rice yield can be lost because of weed competition.
Since the ban was instituted, the Sri Lanka tea industry alone has had to absorb losses of about 100 million euros annually. The corn harvest plunged 20%, and the rice harvest fell by half over a period of 2 years. In 2018, then the turnaround. The glyphosate ban was lifted. The policymakers revised their decision.
Now it has been proven that glyphosate and the kidney issue are not related. So because of that, we were able to partially get the ban lifted. We appreciate the environmental lobbyists, the health issues, we appreciate all that. You know, we have to take note of all this, because anything that is bad for our people, we should not give. But it has to be done through a scientific way.
In hindsight, it is almost inconceivable that the decision to prohibit the use of glyphosate was based entirely on a single publication on this website. It may look scholarly, but it is actually a paid platform. Anyone can post here if they pay a fee, which is how 3 authors with a hypothesis managed to unleash a devastating avalanche. Parakrama Vaidyanatha, who is a member of the Center of Education, Research and Training on Kidney Diseases, is stunned by the inaccuracy of the assertions.
The chemist is wrong, and there is no evidence other than this hypothesis. There is nobody else who has supported this hypothesis. No publication, no scientists have come out and supported this.
Agriculture professor Budi Marambi has found the silver lining for this story. He sees it as a cautionary tale that shows the whole world how important it is to have all the facts before making a decision, especially when food is involved.
Make sure a proper dialogue is there with the scientific community to understand the real fact. You can go by a myth, but take a decision that will lead to a disaster. So the lesson learned was that the unwarranted decision making, which was not based on scientific facts, have been taken and has affected our agriculture, which should never be repeated in the future.
Experts estimate that it will take at least 5 years to bring the explosive proliferation of weeds in Sri Lanka back down to previous levels.